Welcome to MES College Marambally e-learning.
Good morning dear students. I am Leena C. Shekhar from Department of Computer Applications, MES College Marambally. Today I am going to discuss on the topic paging and segmentation that comes in memory management of operating system. This topic is included in the third semester of Bachelor of Computer Applications. So before going to discuss about the paging and segmentation, I would like to say what is the need of this paging and segmentation. So we know that the main memory that is central to the computer system, and the main memory must accommodate both the operating system and the various user processes. We have to allocate the parts of memory in most efficient manner. The contiguous memory allocation is one such allocation method. In contiguous memory allocation, the segment of the memory that will be in continuous sessions, and the main memory is usually divided into two partitions. One is called the resident operating system and another one is the user processes. In contiguous memory allocation, each process is contained in a single contiguous section of memory. The simplest method for allocating memory is to divide the memory into several fixed size partitions. In a fixed partition scheme, the operating system keeps a table indicating which part of memory are available and which part of the memory are occupied by the processes. Whenever a process gives a request in need of memory, we search for a space which is large enough to fit for that particular process. And when the process is allocated a space, it is loaded into the memory and it can then compete for the CPU. As the process terminates, it releases its memory and the operating system will fill this space with another process which is already there in the input queue. So when the processes are loaded and removed from memory, the free memory space is broken into little pieces. We know that whenever a process gives a request for this memory, and if there is sufficient memory which is scattered among the area, then it is not possible to accommodate a particular process to the memory. So in that case, a fragmentation, external fragmentation exists. Even though there is space, it is not possible to allocate a process to that particular space. So this is external fragmentation, and a solution to external fragmentation problem is nothing but the paging as well as segmentation. So now let us see what is paging. Paging is a memory management scheme that permits the physical address space of a process to be non-contiguous. So we know that the logical address space that is generated by the central processing unit and the physical address space that is nothing but the memory what the user sees. So the basic method for implementing paging involves breaking the physical memory into fixed size blocks called frames and breaking the logical memory into blocks of the same size called pages. So whenever we consider the paging problem, there will be two segments, one is called the frame and another one is the pages. So frames are the part of physical memory and pages are the part of logical memory. When a process is to be executed, its pages are loaded into the available memory frames from the backing store. So the process is already stored in the secondary storage, and when the process is need to be executed, the corresponding pages will be loaded into the available memory frames. The secondary storage that is divided into fixed sized blocks that are of the same size as the memory frames. So every address generated by the CPU is divided into two parts, a page number and a page offset. The page number is used as an index into page table and the page table contains the base address of each page in the physical memory. So, this is the pictorial representation of a paging hardware, and here we can see that the logical address that is generated by the CPU, and this logical address, it is divided into two parts. One is the page number and the displacement, which is represented by using the letter D. So, when this particular page number is given to the page table, in the page table corresponding to that page number, a frame number will be stored, and that frame number is passed to the physical address along with the displacement, and that will be the final position of the location of that particular process in the main memory. The paging model of logical and physical memory can be represented in this as shown in the figure. So, here we can see that the logical memory is divided into 4 different pages starting from page 0 to page 3, and the page table that contains 2 parts. One is the page number that is marked as the left of the table 0, 1, 2 and 3, and also the frame number. The frame number is given as 1, 4, 3 and 7, and the third one, that is the physical memory, that also contains several segments. And as I have already mentioned, the page size as well as the frame size, that will be equal. So, when this particular page 0, we can see that from the figure, the page 0 is loaded into the frame 1. So, corresponding to that, the page 0 here in the physical memory, it is loaded into page 0. Similarly, page 1 is stored in frame number 4. So, in the physical memory, we can see that page 4 contains page 1, and the page 2, that is in frame number 3, which is stored here in the physical memory in the frame 3, and the last one, that is page 3, that is included in frame number 7, and it is stored here in the physical memory. So, this is the structure of a paging model as well as how the processes are allocated in the logical as well as the physical memory of the system. The size of a page is typically a power of 2, that is varying between 512 bytes and 16 MB per page depending upon the computer architecture. The selection of a power of 2 as a page size makes the translation of a logical address into a page number and page offset. The size of the logical address space is 2 raised to m, and a page size is 2 raised to n addressing units. Then the high order m-n bits of a logical address designate the page number, and the n low order bits designate the page offset. So, this is the structure of the logical address. Here we can see the 2 components. One is the page number, and the second one, that is marked as D, which is the displacement. P is the index into the page table. This is another example given for this paging. So, here in this particular example, we are using a page size of 4 bytes and a physical memory of 32 bytes. So, 32 bytes means there are 8 pages in the physical memory. So, the logical address 0, here the logical address 0 is page 0 and offset is 0 here. So, indexing into the page table, we find that page 0 is in frame 5. So, in this figure, you can see that the corresponding page is in frame 4. So, thus the logical address 0 maps to the physical address, or else we can say the logical address 0 maps to the physical address 20 of the physical memory, that is we obtain that 20 as 5 into 4, 4 is the size of the frame, and we are adding the displacement along with that, so that we will obtain 20 as the logical physical address. Similarly, the logical address 3 maps to physical address 23, and the logical address 4 is page 1. When we consider the next page, that is the logical address 1, so here it is mapping to the physical memory, that is 6 or the frame 6. So, in this way we can represent different processes in the physical memory. So, this is a well defined example for paging. So, when we use a paging scheme, we have no external fragmentation. As in the beginning I have told you, the external fragmentation occurs when there is the memory space is scattered among the physical address. So, any free frame can be allocated to a process that needs it. There is a chance of internal fragmentation here. So, in addition to the external fragmentation, internal fragmentation is nothing but whenever a process of size, suppose when the process is having a size of 5 KB and already the segment is having a size of 7 KB, then when that particular process is allocated, 2 KB remains free. So, when the process arrives in the system to be executed, its size, that is expressed in pages, is examined and each page of the process needs one frame. So, here when that process with size 5 KB is allocated, the 2 KB of that particular segment became free there. So, that is nothing but the internal fragmentation. Thus, if the process requires n pages, at least n frames must be available in memory. If n frames are available, they are allocated to these arriving processes. The first page of the process is loaded into one of the allocated frames and the frame number is put in the page table for that particular process. The next page is again loaded into another frame and its frame number is kept into the page table and so on. This figure shows the free frames, that is before as well as after the allocation of a process. So, in the first part, that is the section A, we can see that the list of free frames, it is marked as 14, 13, 18, 20 and 15 and there are 4 different pages starting from page 0 to page 3. In the section B, it is given the page table which contains the page number as well as the frame number. So, when the particular process is allocated, we can see that only one frame is left over, that is the frame number 15. All other frames are allocated. An important aspect of paging is the clear separation between the user's view of memory and the actual physical memory. The user program views memory as one single space containing only this one program. In fact, the user program is scattered throughout the physical memory which also holds other programs. The difference between the user's view of memory and the actual physical memory is reconciled by the address translation hardware and the logical address are translated into the physical addresses here. This mapping is also hidden from the user and is controlled by the operating system. So, as we know that the operating system is managing the physical memory, so the operating system must be aware of the allocation details of physical memory. That means which all frames are allocated, which all frames are free and totally how many frames are there, etc. So, this particular information that is kept in a data structure called a frame table. The frame table has one entry for each physical page frame indicating whether the latter is free or allocated and if it is allocated to which page of which process or processes. So, frame table is nothing but which contains all the details regarding the frames, whether the frames are allocated or whether the frames are available and totally how many frames are there. Next, the hardware support for the page tables. Each operating system has its own methods for storing page tables and most of the page tables that allocate for each of the processes. A pointer to the page table is stored in the process control block. The hardware implementation of the page table can be done as a set of dedicated registers and these registers should be built with very high speed logic to make the paging address translation efficient. The CPU dispatcher reloads these particular registers. The use of registers for the same page table is satisfactory if the page table is reasonably small. And most of the computers allow the page table to be very large. For these machines, the use of fast registers to implement the page table is not feasible. So, instead of that, the page table is kept in main memory and a page table based register called the PTBR that points to the page table. Changing the page table requires changing only this one register, substantially reducing the context switch time. The problem with this approach is the time required to access a user memory location. If we want to access location I, we must first index into the page table using the value in the PTBR offset by the page number for CH8 by 8. This task requires a memory access. This particular task provides us with the frame number which is combined with the page offset to produce the actual address, that is nothing but the physical address. So, we can then access the desired place in memory. With this scheme, two memory accesses are needed to access a particular byte. Thus, the memory access is slowed by a factor of 2. Next, we will discuss how the implementation of page table is done. So, as I have told you, the page table that is kept in the main memory. The page table based register, that is the PTBR, that points to the page table, and the page table length register called the PRLR that indicates size of the page table. In this particular scheme, every data or instruction access requires two memory accesses, one for the page table and one for the data or the instruction. The two memory access problem can be solved by the use of a special fast lookup hardware cache called associative memory or translation look aside buffers, that is TLBs. The TLB is associative high speed memory. Each entry in the TLB consists of two parts, a key or we can say a tag and a value. When the associative memory is presented with an item, the item is compared with all keys simultaneously. If the item is found, the corresponding value field is returned. The TLB contains only a few of the page table entries. When a logical address is generated by the CPU, its page number is presented to the TLB. If the page number is found, its frame number is immediately available and is used to access memory. If the page number is not in the TLB, we can call it as a TLB miss. A memory reference to the page table must be made. When the frame number is obtained, we can use it to access the memory. So, this is the general structure of a paging hardware with the TLB. So, here also, as we have seen in the case of paging hardware, the logical address that is generated by the CPU, which contains the two parts, page number and the displacement. And here, since the TLB is introduced, here the page number will be given to the TLB, and if that corresponding page number is available in TLB, the corresponding frame number will be added with the displacement, and that will be the actual physical address. And if this particular page number is not available in TLB, it will search in the page table, and along with that frame number, the displacement will be added and we obtain the physical address. So, here when this TLB miss occurs, then immediately the TLB will get updated with the immediate action taken place in the page table. Next, how we can provide protection to this paging scheme. The memory protection in a paged environment is accomplished by protection bits associated with each frame. These bits are kept in the page table, and one bit can define a page to be read write or read only. Every reference to memory goes through the page table to find the correct frame number. At the same time, the physical address is being computed. The protection bits can be checked to verify that no writes are being made to read only pages. An attempt to write to a read only page causes a hardware trap to the operating system. One additional bit is generally attached to each entry in the page table, and that bit is called the valid or the invalid bit. When this bit is set to valid, the associated page is in the process logical address space and is thus a legal page. And when that bit is set to invalid, the page is not in the process's logical address space. The illegal addresses are trapped by use of the valid invalid bit. The operating system sets this bit for each page to allow or disallow access to the page. So, this particular figure explains the valid or the invalid bit given in the page table. Here also we can see the logical address, page table as well as the physical address. And in the page table one additional column is provided, that is nothing but the valid and the invalid bit. So, here from the logical address page 0 is loaded into frame number 2, and here we can see the bit is given as a valid bit which is represented by V. So, the corresponding page is loaded in the physical address in frame number 2. So, similarly the page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4 and page 5, all the pages are loaded into the corresponding frames, and we can see all those bits are or the protection bit are given as valid. And when coming to page number 6, we can see that there is no frame for the page number 6. So, it means that that is an invalid bit. So, here in this figure it is marked as I. So, page number 6 as well as page number 7, they are invalid bits. So, in this way we can provide protection into the paging system. So, next we are moving on to the segmentation. An important aspect of memory management that became unavoidable with paging is the separation of the user's view of memory and the actual physical memory. Segmentation is a memory management scheme that supports the user view of memory. A logical address space is a collection of segments, and each segment has a name as well as a length. The addresses specify both the segment name and the offset within the segment. So, this is the user view of a program. Here we can see that the logical address that contains several functions like subroutines, then we can see the square root function, then the main program, etc. So, this is the general view of a program. So, the user therefore specifies the address by two different quantities. One is called the segment name and the second one is an offset. The segments are numbered and are referred to by a segment number rather than by a segment name. Thus, a logical address consists of a two-tuple segment number offset. Next, the hardware part of this segmentation. So, mapping of two-dimensional user-defined addresses into one-dimensional physical address is effected by a segment table. Each entry in the segment table has a segment base and a segment limit. The segment base contains the starting physical address where the segment resides in memory, whereas the segment limit that specifies the length of the segment. So, the use of segment table is explained in this particular figure. So, a logical address that is generated by the CPU that consists of two parts. So, this is an example of segmentation. So, here we have 5 segments numbered from 0 through 4. Segment 0, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3 and segment 4. So, the segments are stored in the physical memory as shown in the figure. The segment table has a separate entry for each segment giving the beginning address of the segment in physical memory and the length of that segment, or we can say the limit. So, for example, we can say that the segment 2 is 400 bytes long and begins at location 4300, that is the base register. Thus, a reference to byte 53 of segment 2 is mapped onto location the limit plus the base. So, that comes 4353, and similarly a reference to segment 3 with byte 852 is mapped to 3200, which is the base of the segment, plus 852, so totally 4052. So, in this way we can map the segments to the physical memory. So, as a summary, the memory management algorithms for multi-programmed operating system range from the single user system approach to page segmentation. The most important determinant of the method used in a particular system is the hardware provided. every memory address generated by the CPU must be checked for legality and possibly mapped to a physical address. So, thank you for listening.